Hey friends, what's going on? It's Miss Ing from the Shayla North Hills Library. Tonight I have a story about somebody that I actually did hear of because when she kind of hit her fame as a tennis player, I was about 4 years old or so, and I remember hearing her name and thinking she was a cool tennis player. And it's actually a Little People Big Dreams series book. Evonne Goolagong is her name, and she's from Australia. And it's written by Maria Isabella Sanchez Vergara, illustrated by Lisa Kostriki. And there's a couple words in here that I'll probably skip over. Not skip over, but stumble over, because I have been listening to how to pronounce them. But as you've seen before on this show and many others, when I'm nervous about reading a word, then I will mess it up. So, Little People Big Dreams, tennis star Evonne Goolagong. Little Evonne grew up in a hot, dusty farm in Australia. She was the third of 8 children, all of them descendants of the Wiradjuri people who had lived on the land for more than 60,000 years. Evonne's family was very poor and couldn't afford to buy her many toys. But one day, under the wheel of her father's car, Evonne found the most amazing treasure, an old tennis ball. She loved that tennis ball so much, her father made a wooden racket to hit it with. It didn't look like a real thing, but I can start with anything, Evonne thought. One evening, she discovered a story about a young female tennis player who went to a place in England called Wimbledon and won on its magical center court. She went to bed dreaming about that girl. But taking part in a world-class tennis tournament felt like a fairy tale to a little indigenous girl. Evonne was not allowed to join a tennis club and had to watch the games through the fence, memorizing everything the coach said. Evonne went to the club day after day. Finally, the club's manager noticed her. He gave her the keys so that she could teach herself how to play when all the kids were gone. And she did. A tennis coach named Vic Edwards heard about a young girl who could play faster than any other new talent. He asked Evonne to move to Sydney. There, she lived with his family and trained to become a professional player. The day she left home, her mother gave Evonne a tennis dress made of bed sheets and some very good advice. Don't worry about winning or losing. Just play your best and have a lovely time. It became Evonne's secret weapon. She didn't even think about winning, and that winning was everything and losing was a disaster. Every time she hit the court, she enjoyed her matches and looked forward to the next point. Shot after shot, Evonne made it into all the major tournaments, playing in Sydney, Paris, New York, and one day she was in Wimbledon. She won the tournament and became the #1 player in the world. So she won Wimbledon in 1971. That's when I was born, so she must have been still a big star as I was growing up. She had to wait 9 years until she won Wimbledon again. Okay. That day, there was a very special guest watching from the stands, her daughter, Kelly. Evonne became the first mother to win the tournament in more than 60 years. When she retired, Evonne kept inspiring the next generation of Australian tennis players, helping young Indigenous children make it onto the court. And this is how little Evonne became the most graceful player in the world, a living legend who breaks barriers every time she hits the ball. And that is the story of Evonne Goolagong, and professional tennis player. And what I think is really cool about her is that she just didn't even care about winning. She was just like, dude, I'm just gonna have a good time. Yeah. And if you saw the Sporty Sports show when we did tennis, I think that tennis players are incredibly skilled because tennis was scary. for me that day. You can go back and watch Sporty Sports Show tennis episode. Scary. Anyway, my friends, I hope you don't have any scary dreams. I hope they all have beautiful ones, and I hope they come true. Give your beautiful brain a kiss. Give your loving heart a kiss. And when you look in the mirror, be sure to tell yourself, hey, good looking, because you're all good looking, just the way you are. Thank you, friends.